Sherry says, how do you get him to physically show me love like a hug? Well, it might not be his love language, right? So there's a love languages things. If you're not familiar with that concept, go and check out Gary Chapman's Five Love Languages book. It's a great book. It's a great read, really interesting. But the way that you want to do it is you want to first let him know, right? You just want to let him know and see what he does, right? And you can always offer and volunteer as well, because some guys, especially in today's day and age, they're very reluctant to touch women, especially if they haven't touched a woman before, because they're worried about harassment charges and all kinds of other things. And so it's usually, sometimes if a guy's not doing that, you can just do it or create something like that with him. You can also frame it or let him know that you really love hugs. Like, oh, it's so, like, you know what, like you're just talking to each other and you're just like, hey, you know what I really love? You know what, one thing I just absolutely love? Hugs. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the world. I love to get, are you a hugger? Right. And just ask him that and just see what he says and just have a conversation about it. And you're like, yeah, I love to hug my friends. I like to, it's like one of my favorite things when I meet people. I like to hug them. Like, it's just, I love hugs. Right. And if you start talking like that, he'll start getting the idea. And then later you can frame things like, oh, it's so hot, it's so attractive when a guy, hugs me. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just makes me feel so safe and so taken care of, and talk about it in terms like that, like he's being more masculine and you're stepping into your feminine when somebody is when a guy's hugging you, and the guy's going to want to start doing that. And if he doesn't, if you haven't initiated any kind of touch contact at all, you can start doing that, and just like regular, like small touches, like touching his arm or touching his hand, when he has his hand out and you just touch it real quick and move it away, or you just touch his arm real quick, or he does something that you really like and you're like, oh, and you come up and hug him real quick, and then, you let go or whatever, right? You're just creating an initiation of that touch, and making it so that he feels like he's allowed to start doing that with you. That's what you want to do. I hope that makes sense there, Sherry. I hope that makes sense.